Hello, fifth graders. Once again, today for your math lesson. It's not a lesson, it's a review, because the last time we met, I just gave you a few problems to practice. And remember, I checked, you had to do your own index card. So this is dividing, and some of the problems you'll have to do will be set up like this, where you have to actually put the correct numbers under the table and on the outside in the dividend and divisor. So it's good practice reminding yourself, oh, what do I need to do? Some of the problems will also be already set up for you, so that makes it easy. But this one I wanted to go over to remind you that, oh, I need to probably put a decimal in somewhere. So for number 8, okay, we're dividing technically decimals by decimals. And right now in this problem, which is part of your assignment, there is no decimal. So always, 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 the number that goes under the table will be your dividend, and it's always the first number. So the first number in line, right, in the division problem always goes underneath the table. All right, and I'll put a little number 1 next to it to remind you that, hey, that goes there, which then the second number, of course, is your divisor and goes outside. Now looking at this, there is no decimal anywhere, but I'm going to put a decimal in the dividend because we might need it when we start dividing. So there's no decimal out here, so I don't have to do any moving, right? Because it's a nice whole number already. So you remember where we put a decimal. If it's a whole number, we always put it at the end. Always, because that keeps it the same number. And then of course you bring it up. So that's where it goes. So now you just start dividing, okay? Each digit by, each digit. So 14 cannot go into 4. I'm gonna put a little X there. 14 can go into 49. I'm gonna think, okay, 14 is close to 15. And I know 2 15s equals 30. And I know 3 15s equals 45. So I'm gonna try 14 times 3 on the side. And I just want to remind you, doing this extra work on the side is going to help you. 4 times 3 is 12. Bring the 1, 3, plus 1 is 4. 42, yes, fits into 49. So I'm going to put my 3 above the 9. 3 times 14 is 42, like I have right there. Okay, when I subtract, I have 7 left. Now this is a reminder. You can't just bring the 7 up and put it in your answer. You can't just say remainder 7 with a decimal. So what do? Add that 0 in the dividend after the decimal and bring it down. So now 14 into 70. So I know 14 times 3 is 42. So maybe I'll add 2 more to that. So maybe I'll do 14 times 5. Because this, sometimes you just have to do trial and error. So 4 times 5 is 20. Carry the 2. 5, 6, 7. Oh, look at that. It goes in perfectly. I need 70, so it goes in 5 times. I put my 5 up here. 5 times 14 is 70. Subtract, and I'm left with no remainder. So my final answer is 3.5. Okay? So that's a reminder for ones that might be whole numbers that you have to divide, but they do end up needing a decimal. I'm going to do one more that has a decimal to remind you about movement. So let's do, I'll do number 3. Okay, number 3 says 0.6 for the divisor and 12.9 for the dividend. Okay, so right now in my divisor, I have a decimal. I don't want that, so I need to make it a whole number. You always start with the divisor. You never move the inside until you've moved the outside. So I only need to move it once over to the right. So that turns it into 6. And then that means I move this over once to the right. And that makes it 129, and I'm still gonna put the decimal in because I might need it. Okay, then you just start dividing. So 6 doesn't go into 1, but 6 goes into 12, 2 times, very nice. I subtract, and with 0. Now I need to bring down my 9. 6 can only go into 9 once. 1 times 6 is 6. I subtract, I'm left with 3. So you see how I still need my decimal because now I have to add a 0 because I can't have a remainder. And I know 6 goes into 30 nicely 5 times because 5 times 6 is 30. And I'm left with nothing. So my final answer is 21.5. So even sometimes with moving the decimal, and see how it turned it into a whole number, technically, 129, I still needed that decimal because I had to add my 0. Cool. So if you could please, 5th graders, your assignment today is to practice those things. Page 333 and 334. And the only thing I am looking for you to do the problems in your math notebook. So when I'm checking your work, when you send it to me, I need to see that it's done on notebook paper, or if you have graph paper, that would be great too. But I want to see all the work done. Okay, so I need to see that you're showing me this long division work. Okay. So your assignment looks like that. And if you have any questions, text me or email me. All right. Thank you very much.